discussion on when to start the hiring process for
New business.
in 2023. We got a notification after last month's meeting that the people are going to look for a third contract. We said we had 3-year contracts. So time to start the discussion here on when do we get this rolling. As we know that the labor market for policing is tight, getting tighter every day. I do think sooner is better than later. I did hand out to the actual ad that we had last time, and I did some markups on it with possible changes. Certainly can getting more changes to it if you see any. But the question is when to get going here. There's several places to advertise this, and John, you wanna mention a couple where something like this would get posted?
I mean, Wiley Neck would be the big one. These law enforcement lines that are like, in law
So that's
enforcement.
statewide, net?
Correct.
Okay. Kim, last time did we send it anywhere else?
I posted it on WireNet. I actually did that myself.
Okay.
And I think that was it, because that goes statewide to law enforcement.
It was,
You know,
was
like-
my understanding also is that the last time we hired, the old chief, or retiring chief, didn't help with the process of
That is
hiring.
correct.
So that was another question somebody asked me is who's doing what, or how do we set this up?
Chief, it is,
Do we continue that as, you know, as we did
that's
last
up,
time?
that's up to us. I think taking the information and using it as we see fit is useful. I don't think necessarily is it right or wrong, it's up to us.
Why was it not, why didn't we use?
Why didn't,
Why didn't, why
We
was
did
it left?
not want it.
Why, we offered?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Probably because there were more than one person in the department that may have been interested, and you know, the big favorites.
Yeah, I think there was like,
3.
3 in-house.
Well, we had 25 applicants to start.
From the last go around, the
Yeah.
hiring process.
And from within, we had Craig, Paul, and Matt. So there were 3 from within. I know, I asked the chief, and he said, I don't wanna participate.
And again, I think it's useful, and you make the judgment on how it fits into the process. The question now is when do we get going with this, and,
Was there any sort of timelines, or when does the official contract end? I apologize, I don't have that.
End of the year.
End of the year. So it'd be this end of December, so
Yeah.
December 31st or whatever.
right, but, obviously we don't know how long this is gonna take. One of the changes I made on here was the position to start instead of December 1st, and one position filled. That was a suggestion by Don, and I thought that would be a good thing. If you think there should be a date on there, we can certainly change that, but anything you see on there, it's one page, it's easy. I have one more thing to add to it, that's about use of body cams.
Under qualifications, we had minimum age 21. Legally, can we make it higher? Is that
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know if there's a, administrative regulation that says you have to be 21.
Right, or instead we could say like 10 years of experience or something like that.
Well, we have 2 years of supervisory, but yeah, you can have that. Because really what it comes down to, if you're gonna meet, you know, or perform the essential functions of a police chief, you're not gonna do it at 21,
Right.
right? So, I guess it's just,
The age thing altogether.
Yeah,
take it out.
but experience, I would look to have more specifications.
Positions to start when position fill, it's really gonna limit your applications. Because you're gonna be like, well, this doesn't tell me anything.
Well, we have to say December first for a transition.
was
We'd
windows.
like the position to be started whenever the contract ends, they have somebody.
But don't we
Right.
wanna have some training?
Yeah, it takes how long to do background, I mean, just hiring an officer, that is that process we talked about multiple times, so that's, that alone, 2 months.
At least,
Three,
Right, and then they could,
I
and
think
then
we started.
overlap the 1 month, that's why it was December first before.
To start.
So by the time you get going, I mean, it's potentially, we talking about, doing this in May, June, July. I think we do it as soon as we can, then it might come down to, when do we have to make the change.
Is the chief willing to leave before the end of
Right.
the year? If
That's
you're
what I'm
saying
saying.
when
Right,
position
he's
filled,
contracted.
that's why I'm asking.
Yeah,
if you're saying when
That-
position filled,
Yeah,
you love your second applicant,
okay,
and you say, yeah, we'd love to have you start, we're gonna get the ball rolling, you'll have that process complete in X number of months, and it's August first.
okay.
Is the chief willing to be done on August first instead of December 31st?
Well, that's,
I mean, I'm making.
Willing if, what, the town buys them all
Pays them
last
out,
4
right.
months?
Or I'll just ask the question, how flexible is it? I'll give you the answer. If he says flexible and no problem with the contract time,
yeah, but that's.
but he'd have to say that. Because you have to contract.
You'd have to sign it.
Well, I know what the
And
attorney
everyone-
uses, so I'll have his attorney
Yeah.
draft a
Yeah.
termination letter that they're not seeking any contractual,
Yeah, that's-
compensation for those last remaining months.
Cause even if we did December first, we'd be paying for 2 chiefs.
Well, we do want an overlap. Now,
We
the
want
overlap may not
overlap for what? For
Training.
cross, I mean, one guy would get transition.
Would our lieutenant be able to do some training?
Barb, did you say that Jensen was not willing to, guide
You
us
guys
through
do all the
that?
training anyway?
Barb,
You train them anyway when
Chief
they come in.
Jensen is not willing to
Well,
guide us through the
That's the
hiring?
officer, that go, chief.
I believe he.
So what-
his letter seemed to indicate that he would help in that way.
Well, he would help.
Yeah, we were talking about the last night.
Oh. He said.
Yeah, but I'll follow up on that, because to me, that street goes both ways, So, it was nice to go,
What was that?
Maybe Chief
The-
Surgeons
leave it
would
early.
now be willing to participate.
You better off talking to Fred. Fred, from the village of Quantico. He's
Oh,
their
Fred.
retired chief. He's their retired chief, he's the village president. He knows his stuff.
Well, and I was gonna start earlier, I know Paul Myra changed from a volunteer department to a full-time service department. That was 10 years ago already. But that might, if you guys have questions about that.
okay, so we don't kill this, why don't everybody, send their comments on the, send them to me, and then what I'm gonna do
I
then,
corrected the benefit section already, so,
Okay.
because you had some mistakes in there.
okay, this is the one we used from last time, yes.
Does Wiley only go to Wisconsin?
Anybody can access.
But when people look for jobs, usually they're the only way.
Right.
We had 25 candidates, and 5 of them were from, one was from, New York, one was from Texas, one was from DC. I mean, we got them from all over the place. I mean,
But we're okay with only one place to post it.
3 of our finalists were from out of
Yeah,
the state.
I mean,
Police officers
We
don't
could-
look at any other.
This is the place to advertise, right?
And it's
Wiley
like
is where they go.
To me, law enforcement.
Right, that's the big one.
Unless you do like.
Yes,
a
somebody
criminal
posted to
or-
Indeed or something.
Right.
USA job.
Primarily, their
Oh,
own
sorry.
personal website, and
okay.
You want,
Okay, so when I get that, I'm gonna modify this, and I believe I have this in some type of a Word document. And then I'll get it to Jim and Kim to give a once over, And if they have any
Will
feedback.
we need to get updates to when?
Within 2 weeks? Within the next 2 weeks? And then,
That would be by the 28th, by March 28th.
and then, it needs to muster of you two, then I'll forward everybody, and then we'll likely then put it on the agenda for pulling the trigger at the April meeting. Okay? Okay?
That would be good opportunity to talk to the chief too about,
Yeah.
hey, if we do it and we find somebody,
Yeah.
you know,
Understood. Okay, let's move on. Letter of support for grant purposes for Edge Broadband. This guy came out of the blue, when I say out of the blue, I mean out of the blue, sent an email, I think to Kim, right? Forwarded to me, and I said, I'll answer. So you can see what he's doing here, he says, I apologize, this is, Ryan Matto, and he's, from, Edge Broadband out of Elkhorn. He says, I apologize for the late contact with my company, Edge Broadband out of Elkhorn, applying for state broadband expansion grant for rural areas in County Detroit. Our current network just reaches Bowers Road south of D, but we'd love to expand fiber north of your township. Grant application is due next Thursday, so that's a couple days from now. For the town board and board members be open to writing a letter of support to include in our application. We are a company that won 5 out of 5 degrees. And I responded, Kim put on the agenda, and to Brian, I said, Brian, provide me with the maps that show service, because I said, the entire township is covered by Spectrum under, a, charter, or, what do you call it? Franchise, and our township is covered. Now, I may be wrong, but I thought everybody is covered.
We are not covered differently. For Troy Hill Estates, which I'm running into, with just moving there, we either go off of the Wispy network with Mr. Jacoby, or, CharterNet, which is very difficult to get your address verified. We are not.
So you
covered.
do not have Time Warner in your subdivision?
We do not have Spectrum, Time Warner.
Or, I'm sorry, Spectrum.
Yeah, so you have to get either like a private use net or.
Chad, I know you do.
The Roars have it down there.
You do, I do, you do. Yeah, I was under the assumption that our entire township is covered, and that's a good point, I mean.
That's a new subdivision.
They haven't.
Well, there's gonna be 55 houses there eventually, they'll go in,
But right
but this
now,
could
they're-
maybe get it free. Okay, so,
I would say,
so,
But they're only asking for a letter of recommendation,
Yes.
nothing else.
right, if he had something else in there, and by the way,
It
this,
never hurts to have competition.
this grant he's talking about,
competition's always nice.
there is no money from us. This would be,
No.
when a state grant is actually federal money, as well as county also from their ARPA, they put in money. So he's just trying to fill holes.
That's
So
why
there is no
guys
I already wish you would.
Okay, I need to,
I make a motion that, I authorize, Rick Sarkowski to write Brian Meadow, who is the, Edge Broadband, a letter of support for seeking grant to provide broadband to unserviced areas in the town.
Only unserviced or is it all?
well, first of all, they could not go because of
The
their
franchise.
franchise, they can't go where already they have it. I don't think.
I would not put that in my letter of recommendation.
No, I would say all, why can't we have the
Well, you can, but the grant, I believe, is talking about unserved areas. That would basically push the Spectrum to either do it or not do it. That's a good thing. And cost is good too. because it's
This
all-
better be the most generic letter of recommendation.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, very generic.
Based upon your request that I write something favorable for your grant.
I'll hide it a little bit.
So I'll second Barb's motion.
Okay, we have motion second, authorize me to write that letter, discussion. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Okay, annual meeting agenda items. previously, we talked about getting the ATV and UTV issue on there. Did anybody else have any other information to Kim?
I would be happy to do a communications update.
Okay. I think we should let everybody know about where we are with ARPA, even though
I
we
think we
didn't
should
yet.
add
Town hall improvements.
the fire chief, the new fire chief, and the new engine update.
You'll do that?
Yep.
Good. And I'll give a ARPA and town hall improvements update. Anything else?
And I may not be there, so I'm not gonna make any recommendations.
Not gonna be there?
I may not be.
Man.
Hold on, you guys are.
Oh,
still-
no, you're still official
board.
manager,
You're on the
right?
board that night.
Then they did.
And
That would be your
at
like
the very
last
beginning, yeah,
meeting.
and then
And then
Yes.
but the swearing in,
swearing is right
But
away.
their term starts the 20th. You're gonna get. No.
So you're voting rights that night.
Yeah, they're still in office for the annual meeting. April 20th, the next day starts the new term. The reason you all were sworn in and sat at the table that night is because of our.
positions.
So you can't get on that meeting.
All right, I
Mr.
have,
Biles.
never mind. I have ATV, UTV issue, communications committee update, ARPA update, and the ETA, ESD update.
I was thinking the Blue Lake Centennial should be brought up.
That's a great, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes,
We're really close to trying to really getting a solid agenda on what we're gonna do there, but it's not complete. But it's happening, I mean, it's happening, I can give the ballpark,
The dates
the
and
date.
a little synopsis of
Yep.
what we're doing.
So I'm gonna go to Pack and Ship or whatever, I'll get 100 of each. We're at a fire station, I have no idea where it's at.
It would be cheaper if you brought it to us and we printed it on our software.
That last time you said that.
No, it would be cheaper to do it. Okay.
Okay,
What about the police garage?
that's on the town hall improvements discussion. And you notice the only thing that's not done now, once we get the jet spray
I'm
HVAC.
asking if that should be on the agenda for the annual.
I mean, maybe put it under the town hall improvements. Because it's really a town hall improvement. What it is. The garage, cold storage, DPW, police garage, part that's on there, right? That should be a separate, it's under town hall improvement update, but that's the only thing that's not done.
When you're saying the garage stall.
Um,
You're not talking about what was,
We're talking about a brand new building.
oh, that's right.
Between,
Yeah.
between that door and that salt shed. And then
Have we even had a discussion about this? I mean, I know
ARPA only.
it was brought up.
Or, I'm sorry,
briefly
town hall.
At a meeting as a suggestion or a thought, but we never really
Because we
discussed
budgeted
it.
for it, and we talked about it at the last budget process, but that's really all the discussion.
Yeah, it's been budgeted
The
since.
construction of a new building has to be approved.
By
Well,
the electors.
Yeah.
and that's what I wanna say, because I know when it was
Yes.
touched on, I said, I think it would be a horrible idea to do any sort of building, even though we wouldn't necessarily have to, I've heard, without discussing it.
Yeah, I believe by definition,
With the town.
you're right, it's not, the definition is not new town hall, the definition is new town building.
Any construction.
Anything we're doing here, I think
Structure
is,
of property, right?
whether I'm here or not, it's a good idea, we don't wanna start this,
The whole,
you know, it's easier to have a discussion and really put it out there to everybody in the township than it is to just. well, let's just
Even
go
if
ahead.
it's 60,000
No, I think it's
and not.
it's a better practice, in my opinion. But I mean, that would be a good, I think that would be a good place to have a discussion.
that happens, the building inspector goes into the old part, right? Potentially, another office for Jennifer.
Jennifer down there.
Right, so in effect, it would be space for police officers and police cars. And then if the cars come out of the DPW garage, then Todd is able to use that part for the warm storage.
They gain space
Yes, we
So
don't
can
need
this
anything
be-
on the other
It's
end.
just a new garage.
I might be mistaken, but we have an actual April meeting before that, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
So can we get that on the agenda
I-
and have discussion about that when?
I will tell you, under 60.10 sub 2, sub E requires the electors to authorize the purchase of any land, and then you go down to sub F, it talks about town buildings. Authorize the town board to purchase, lease, or construct buildings for the use of the town, or to combine for this purpose the town's funds with those of a society or corporation doing business located within the town, and to accept contributions of money, labor, or space for this purpose.
So it doesn't matter what kind of building, it's a building.
Yeah.
It's a building. Okay,
And it specifically talks about constructing the building.
Right.
yeah, that's from scratch.
And then, how much information do we have to present at the electors meeting?
Well, I think
We had some
I
sketches.
saw something with a
Yeah,
couple of
I gotten just,
ballpark.
instead of spending oodles and gods to make our cold storage warm, and we're really not gaining what we need to.
Right.
Put that money towards something that's going to benefit
It could be,
the police department.
it's more beneficial to a lot of departments around. I mean, if we can able to do that, but didn't we get, I think we got
Yeah,
kind of a
I-
ballpark of a,
Yeah.
you know, it's nothing super detailed, I think I
No,
said,
no.
but it kind of put it in a ballpark.
Yeah.
Garage builder type deal.
It was a couple of things. that-
What would you call that? It's not a pole building, but there's a name for that type of structure. Like, I think the one was from a company that does just garages.
Yeah,
The other one was
American
Taylor.
Garages was one, and Classic Builders was another, and I had one that was actually a pole barn that was out of the ballpark that.
Mhm.
Building within a building.
Do you still have, I mean, I think.
Yeah, I have
I
one.
still have all.
Yeah, we'll have that next meeting.
I think it would be,
Then
if
we
we're
can
gonna be,
take a look.
if we're gonna try to present something in an annual meeting, I think we.
You have to have
Like,
numbers and
obviously have to
estimates.
really
Yep.
talk about this.
Agreed.
Square footage,
Yeah.
how it's gonna be used.
How it's gonna be finished.
So that gives us what, how many, couple?
Yeah.
Talk about
So
this,
right
maybe
now,
do our research.
You
this.
can just put this on for next month's agenda, if you decide next month you still need more time, then don't put it on the annual meeting agenda.
So,
Fair enough.
everybody calls
Put it on
that.
our next month's agenda for sure.
Yep, okay, all right.
And it will be on the annual meeting agenda,
Alright.
because that has to be
Get
published
Marcy to go.
at the end of the month.
Okay, all right.
I thought he just said we're not deciding what